Welcome to my unfiltered podcast, To Be Free, a podcast that illuminates the pathway to true freedom. I'm your host, Laura Jane Haver, and I'm so excited to bring this podcast into creation. And I'm just beyond grateful that you're here listening. So thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you. Thank you. So to begin, who in the world am I? I really don't love labeling myself because we're so multidimensional and labels can feel super boxy. And I feel like I am just so many things. But for the sake of properly introducing myself to all who discover me through the ether of the internet, I am Laura, a passionate freedompreneur, and I am an empowerment mentor for awakening light leaders, paradigm shifters, change makers, and aspiring freedompreneurs. I support those who are waking up to their higher calling and traversing through what I call the in-between, the transformational space between where you are and where you're called to be, the void between who you were and who you are becoming. And this in-between is your initiation toward true freedom. And this is where I meet you. This is also where this podcast supports you and your evolution. So why did I create this podcast? I created this podcast because just 5 years ago, I started experiencing the very beginning of my spiritual awakening. And a huge part of my awakening was realizing, becoming conscious of, truly feeling and seeing within the depth of my soul and the deepest portal of my heart all the ways in which I was not free. I will dive into this in the next episode, but just to paint a picture, I realized I was allowing societal norms and unhealed conditioning, programming, and limiting beliefs to keep me in like a very restrictive paradigm. And I was wearing a facade and suppressing parts of my authentic self in exchange for external validation and approval. I was pretty much holding myself hostage, anchoring myself into a realm that no longer served me nor my higher calling, while clinging to a comfort bubble. And while I was daydreaming of a totally different lifestyle, I was telling myself disempowering stories like, that's just not realistic. And so during this time, I wished a podcast like this existed to support me on my path to freedom. So I have been called to create this for you now, for everyone who is on a similar awakening journey, seeking true freedom. So here I am sharing my truth, feeling a little bit vulnerable. It feels a little bit scary, but we're meant to get a little uncomfortable on our path to evolution. So I'm really excited about this. So what is this podcast about, and how can I serve you? I am on a mission to help as many people as I can create a life of freedom, because the frequency of freedom is just incredible. And I want everyone to experience the shifts that I have experienced over the past 5 years as I was lifting the anchors and creating a life that made me feel truly free. And this podcast is all about illuminating what it means to be truly free and how to lift the anchors holding us in a limited paradigm. And I'm here to light the path forward as you create your own unique, radically aligned life of pure, organic, authentic, heart-opening freedom. And it is your own unique path, because although freedom feels the same to everyone, it's expansive, it's heart-opening, it's light, it's nourishing. Freedom looks different to everyone. A life of freedom will look different for every single person. So let's talk about what to be free means, because freedom is a very multifaceted word with so much meaning and depth. And you may think of freedom as like land of the free, or you may attach the definition to our basic freedoms, like freedom of what you get to wear every day, or freedom to eat what you want to eat. Or you might think of the amendments like freedom of speech, which I am exercising right now through this podcast, in which I will not be self-censoring nor filtering my voice nor authentic expression, because I value real talk. But to be free is so much more than what we know we have the right to do in this world. And freedom isn't something that exists outside of us. Freedom isn't something we need to seek, nor earn, nor gain. Freedom lives within us unconditionally. It's our birthright. We are free to be free unconditionally. We just have to activate that frequency within ourselves. To be free is to freely be who you truly are, your most authentic, unfiltered, truest self, and to live the life you truly desire to live, not the life you feel like you're supposed to be living. You're free when you're following your own unique life path as a trailblazer, a pioneer, and you're not following the one-size-fits-all path that you're expected to take, nor the path that feels the safest just because it's accepted by the majority. When you're truly free, you transcend the realm of supposed to do's and should be's, and you shift into the realm of born to do and meant to be. You're free when you are creating a life that aligns with your greatest dreams, passions, and desires, your true north. And you're being honest with yourself about all those things that light you up. You aren't chasing things that you have been conditioned to believe you should want. And you're not trying to convince yourself that you should want something just because it will look good on paper, even though it doesn't resonate within your heart. You are free when you're following your heart and the flow of your intuitive spirit, not the crowd. You're free when you get to choose whatever you want to do on a Monday. You're free when you no longer experience the Sunday scaries nor Monday blues. You are free when you have total freedom of your time, space, and energy. You're free when you get to do what you want, when you want, wherever you want, with no inner resistance. You're free when you don't have this lingering anxiety of something that you should be doing, have to be doing, or you're supposed to be doing in life, especially by a certain time in your life. You're free when you are in the space of like, damn, I get to do this and I choose this over and over again. I choose this because this is my greatest dream coming true. So how do we get there to the frequency of true freedom? And how can this podcast be an empowerment tool for you? To be free requires self-awareness, deep healing, and devotion. You have to have like a burning desire to be free. You have to be conscious of all the ways that you currently aren't free. We're called to be super honest with ourselves and become conscious of and to heal our societal conditioning, programming, fears, and limiting beliefs that are anchoring us into a very restrictive paradigm, keeping us stagnant where we play small. To be free, we must dissolve the layers of the not self, the facades, masks, costumes, and the plain pretend that we do in our very own lives in exchange for external acceptance, praise, approval, and validation. Freedom is felt when you start prioritizing internal validation and inner acceptance instead of seeking validation and approval outside of yourself. Freedom is felt when you heal your self-doubt and stop holding on to disempowering stories about your worthiness and limiting beliefs around your potential. Freedom is felt when you no longer prioritize how others perceive you and instead you prioritize how you see yourself. And you choose to see yourself in the highest light. Freedom is felt when you embrace your authentic humanness. You stop suppressing your emotions and you stop suppressing parts of yourself to fit a mold. You stop trying to hide your so-called imperfections. You honor all facets of yourself just as you are. You feel whole and worthy just as you are. Freedom is felt when the only one who gets to determine your self-worth is you. You feel worthy in your heart no matter what. That is freedom. And through this podcast, I want you to feel seen. I light the way forward as you journey between worlds, between the realm that you feel like you're anchored in, towards a realm of true soul-aligned freedom. And my greatest intention is to guide you back to your authentic self, to self-trust, self-confidence, self-love, and to reinvigorate your unwavering belief in yourself and your visions, to remind you of your power, your inner power, to break free from the cage of conformity, to create the life you truly desire, the one that will bring you a feeling of deep purpose, fuck yes energy, and freedom. And this podcast is all about real talk. And yes, I cuss sometimes, probably more than I should. But I am here to be as authentic as I can be, because authenticity is the gateway to freedom. I'm here to be as real as I can freaking be because it's liberating. And this real talk is all about the realness of being authentically human, no filters, no censors, and the rawness and intensity of spiritually awakening. I bridge the stream between our beautifully imperfect, multidimensional human experience and our quantum infinite potential. And just to give you a taste of what I'm all about, I love to shine light on emotional healing and alchemy, and how we can master the matrix, expand our consciousness, and shift our self-conception, all so that we can co-create magic and miracles in our lives and bring our so-called unrealistic dreams into reality. And I'm all about empowerment through heroic storytelling and alchemy, where we turn our pain into power, our fears into medicine, our breakdowns into breakthroughs, because all these alchemizations lead us to a life of radical alignment and freedom. So I will be solo casting a lot and sharing my personal downloads, stories, and experiences with you, with the intention to deeply connect, be real, be vulnerable, and offer you aha moments, revelations, and inspiration. And I will also be sharing tools and practices that have helped me tremendously on my awakening and evolution journey that I feel could be helpful to you. And down the road, I'll also be interviewing some really incredible light leaders, way showers, and paradigm shifters who have been through their own spiritual awakening and healing journeys and have carved their own unique path to freedom. And I'm just so excited to have these honest, real, unfiltered conversations and share with you all. So thank you again for being here with me. I am so grateful and so honored that you're listening. And stay tuned for the next episode of To Be Free. Until next time.